Nikki here. Today, making cheesy spinach zucchini lasagna from this recipe. And we're actually going to be making this sort of for the freezer. I will be portioning it out because that's how I prefer to freeze my stuff, but we're going to be making it as freezer meals. I've been a little under the weather this past week. We ate a lot of what we had. This was something I was planning on making this past week. So now it's just going to be used to replenish easy, ready-made freezer meals. So let's get to it. So first things first, had to get my recipe out and all of the ingredients from the pantry and the fridge just so everything was at hand. Uh, I I struggle when everything isn't close by. I forget to put things in. So that was the first thing. Then I prepped that glass baking dish with just some cooking spray, and then I also washed those mushrooms. I thoroughly washed my mushrooms because mushrooms are dirty. Okay, okay. Um, got those in slices, called to thinly slice them, as well as finely chop some garlic. So did my best with that, and then I started preparing the zucchini. It said to slice this into 1/8 of an inch, which I have no idea really what like how thin that is. Obviously, I can conceptualize an eighth of an inch, but I just don't know what that really looks like. So I did my best. And I decided the recipe did not tell me to do this, but I decided to put some salt on them and lay them out on some paper towels just to draw out some of the moisture from the zucchini. That was half a block, maybe a whole block of grated mozzarella. And then inside of this mixing bowl is ricotta cheese, some parmesan, and half of the mozzarella all mixed together. Then I needed to wash my spinach. The bag did say that it had been washed, but I don't know. I washed it again. And I used my salad spinner to get off a lot of the excess moisture, but not all of it. So I also used these clean kitchen towels to sort of dry off the rest of it. I needed a handful of parsley as well, so I washed that and kind of set it to the side. Then it was time to start cooking stuff. Now that I had all my things prepped and ready to go, so I put the mushrooms on the stove first, got them going with a little salt and maybe some pepper as well. And I kind of let them sit undisturbed for a while so that they could get a little of that caramelization, the browning on the bottom of the mushrooms. Can't remember if the recipe told me to do this, but I do think it worked out well. So tried not to futz with them too much. And then once those were finished, I needed to cook off the spinach that I just washed. So I transferred these over to a little bowl so that I could use the same pan. And I just added the olive oil to that. And then I added my spinach a little at a time until it was all in there. And I seasoned this with salt as well. And maybe pepper too. So it really doesn't take spinach very long to cook up. So I just, maybe a couple of minutes. The recipe suggested that we push the spinach to the side like that and let all the water drain off and evaporate. But my patience was a little too thin to do that. So I put it back in my clean tea towel and I just squeezed the liquid out of the spinach. Here I am layering the lasagna. So it was sauce, then the sheets, then the creamy cheesy sauce, then the mushrooms, more sheets, more sauce, more creamy cheesy mixture, and then the zucchini on top. Now, What I realized after, of course, I had assembled the whole thing is I forgot the spinach. Yeah, you can probably see it there. So, took off the top and I just spread the spinach underneath and put it right back on, and you couldn't have told a difference. I mean, it looked fine. So, after I got that incorporated, I put the last little bit of sauce on top and then sprinkled it with the remaining Parmesan and mozzarella. I felt like I didn't have quite enough cheese on top, so I added some more cheese that the recipe did not call for. Then I'm just doing a little cleanup, bagging up my kitchen scraps so I can make a stock with those, remembering to put away the pasta, cleaning off the kitchen countertop. You know how it goes. And before you know it, it was time to take this out of the oven. So I definitely did that. And it looked really pretty good, to be honest. So happy with how it turned out. I think it looked even better once I sprinkled that parsley on top. And yeah, that's what that finished dish looked like. It was really quite tasty. I did have one meal of this hot, but as soon as it cooled a little bit, I went ahead and started dividing this up into meals. I decided to make 9 portions for this lasagna, and I just scooped them out into some to go containers. I don't know the best word for that, but then I labeled them with a sticky note that just showed the date and what was inside the container. That's what I always do when especially when I'm making something for the freezer, so that I know when it's from and what it is. And then I just got these all packaged up and in the freezer for later. So hope you enjoy.